And ladies and gentlemen, we are welcoming back Mike Agranoff.
Yeah. Do I look like a folk singer or what? I am just a folkie, and my song is seldom heard, for I cannot sing the tune and keep forgetting all the words. That's not unusual. But I try my best, and I play the 3 chords that I know and disregard the rest. Asking only gas and free beer, I come looking for a gig, but I get no offers. Just a rip-off from this bar on 7th Avenue. He told a tale after 6 nights at 3 sets a night, he'd pay me without fail. And the check was in the mail. All together now, Lila lies, plural. Lila, Lila, Lila lies, Lila lies, Lila, 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 lies. So I left the bars and the coffee house, feeling no more than annoyed, and I come to play for strangers on the corner streets and subway stations, anywhere they might go for the nickels, dimes, and quarters that the harried people throw, playing Dylan songs or something they might know. Harmonica got stuck. In the kitchen sits a folkie, a songwriter by his trade, and he tries to do his taxes on the money he ain't made on singing protest songs against the war, or that Simon and Garfunkel stuff that folks don't sing no more. And he asks himself, what do I do it for? Why? Why? Thank you. This, by the way, device here I think had its origins in the Spanish Inquisition as a device to pull men's beard hairs out one at a time, and it's a terrible. Oh. Hi, I'm Mike Agranoff, and I'm a singer-songfinder. And this is a song that I found that's just one of the best damn story songs I ever heard. It's written by a fellow by the name of Andrew Lawrence. It's called Deeper Waters. When Jacob was born back in 22, seemed he already had chores to do, bound to his farm like the blue tattoo burned into his arm. Never had nothing but a patch of land that he worked himself with his one son Randy. Truth be told, weren't worth a damn. Little matchbook of a farm. Jacob made sure Randy went to school, but the kid learned more from a plow and a mule. Reckon we're as sharp as your average fool, either one would claim. Randy went away for about a year, thought he could find him a fine career. But all he found was a chance to hear something call him by his name. Call him home, where his fingers and his toes know the ground. Home to the barking and the scrambling of the hounds. Home where your white oak grows and Cold Creek flows into deeper waters. Randy never known his father to complain, except for falling prices and the lack of rain. But lately he'd been talking about the constant pain, trying to slow him down. Then one day on the upper hill, Randy found his pa fallen deathly ill, lying quiet but breathing still, so he drove him into town. Checked him in a hospital late at night, put him in a room with fluorescent light. Folks come around all dressed in white to plug him to machines. Couldn't have a drink, couldn't smoke, and he cursed him to hell every hole they'd poke, till he hardly ever woke, set to working in his dreams. Back to home, where the years were laid like crops in a row. Home, where his garden needs a lesson from a hoe. Home, with his friends and kin, storms rolling in over deeper waters. Then a couple of days become a couple of weeks. Randy saw his pa getting thin in the cheeks, spent like a stalk when they stripped away the corn. Randy lie awake late into night, knowing that the whole thing just weren't right, knowing Jacob ought to die where he was born. So Randy parked the pickup by the rear door, found an empty gurney on the second floor, slipped by the nurse when he was sure that Jacob was alone. Kept talking soft in his father's ear, says you're all right now, nothing more to fear. Gonna get you out of here, you got chores to do at home. Back in his woods around a quarter mile, Jacob seemed aware for a little while, and he could have sworn that he'd seen him smile before he passed along. Cops come by at the break of day, but no one round here had a word to say. Nothing but a prayer to pray, sending Jacob's spirit on. Back to home, where he's harvesting the seeds that he'd sown. Home, where his maker gladly gathers in his own. Home, when we're poured one day from pots of clay into deeper waters. Thank you. Andy Breckman, brilliant writer. No, not Andy, Auntie Lawrence. Next song is by Andy Breckman. This is actually, it's not. This is an old traditional folk song about a great old traditional folk hero named Railroad Bill. Excuse me, that's not close enough for folk. Now, Railroad Bill was a hard-living man, used to take his women two at a time. And everybody said he was the baddest engineer ever drove for the Illinois line. His name was known from the folks back home to the tippy top of Telegraph Hill. And all the little kids, when they were sneaking cigarettes, they used to dream about Railroad Bill. Now, one fine day, Bill was walking along when he saw a kitten stuck in a tree. When he saw what was the matter, he ran to get a ladder to set that kitty cat free. And Bill says, "No, ain't gonna do that. Ain't gonna climb in no tree. It's a stupid, stupid song. No folk singer gonna make a damn fool out of me." Wait, that's not, that can't, wait a minute. That can't be right. One fine day, Bill was walking along, saw a kitten stuck in a tree. Saw it wasn't matter, ran to get a ladder to set that kitty cat free. And Bill says, "No way! Ain't gonna do it. Ain't gonna do what you said. It's a stupid, stupid song as far as I'm concerned. That cat could stay there till it's dead." And I said, "Wait a minute, Bill, you can't argue with me, for Christ's sake. I just made you up. I am the author, I tell you. I want you up in that tree, and I want that cat unstuck." Bill says, "No. Hate cats. Ain't gonna climb for no cat. Why don't you have me save a beautiful girl who's been tied to the railroad track?" And I said, "Well, maybe there'll be room for that in the 8th or 9th verse, but now, right now, I want you up in that tree. I'm the writer, goddamn, I got the pen in my hand, and I want you to listen to me." "Ha, listen to you," says Bill. "Listen to you. Why should I listen to you? You should listen to me instead. 'Cause I'm a railroad man, and if I was real, I'd separate your face from your head." And I said, "Why, you ungrateful brute, you've pushed me too far. I'll show you as I can do as I please." Just then an earthquake came and shook the whole terrain and brought Railroad Bill to his knees. And then a tidal wave broke and everything got soaked, and Railroad Bill got almost completely washed away. And then a great big green monster from the planet Neptune came down and bit Railroad Bill in the leg. I got the pen in my hand. Do what I want. I'm a bright young talent on the rise. So get your ass up that tree, or I swear you ain't getting out of my folk song alive. You don't scare me. You may be funny, but you don't scare me, because if you don't leave me alone, I'm going to tell everybody where you stole this melody. But before he could speak, his tongue fell out, and he could not make a sound. But then he jumped up on top of me, and he grabbed me by the throat, and he pulled me down to the ground, and he punched me in the stomach, punched me in the face real hard. I think he almost broke my nose. Then, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a lightning bolt came in right between the eyes and killed him instantly. The cat came down from the tree, had a bowl of warm milk, and went to sleep for the night. Railroad Bill is survived by a wife and 3 small children. Dear God, I love to write. Sorry, you got away from me there. Yeah, shorten that a little. Yeah. Good catch, huh?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
All right. Now I'm going to step out on a limb here. The English concertina is generally known to play fiddle tunes. So I'm going to play you an old German fiddle tune by an old German fiddler named Johann Sebastian Bach. This is the Preludio from his third partita. I'm getting a low-end ring here, if you can take the bottom down some. This is the Preludio from his third partita for unaccompanied violin. And this is the one that all the hotshot classical violinists use for their solo encore piece, generally ripped out around warp 7. I can only manage warp 4, warp 4.2, something like that, but it's still pretty quick and not entirely reliable. So there may be a train wreck in my future. Wish me luck. The Preludio. Thank you. All right, now I'm going to tell you a story. Very unusual story. It's a story with a chorus, which you will learn, but it only comes around once. It's a very unusual chorus. So I have to teach it to you. And the chorus goes, "Sit down, George, you're rocking the boat." No. Remember the picture that was up on the classroom wall? There's these 47 guys in a boat built for 12, and they're fending off icebergs and rocks with poles, and the water's coming in, and there's this guy standing up at the back looking heroic. What do you tell him? That's more like it. This is a true story from history. So, you think she knows all about history? You know all that stuff? If you learned all that stuff back in school? Well, them bookworms, they don't know nothing. And if you thinks they does, you's a fool. I'll tell you how it all happened. When me and George Washington saw how to cross the Delaware River and turn the tide of the war. It was coming up right around Christmas, the year 1776, and us glorious Patriot Army was all in a terrible fix. We'd been chased all the way down through Jersey and found ourselves, would you believe, across the Delaware River from Trenton, which is no place to spend Christmas Eve. But we figured we'd have us a party, what with a long weekend and all. We get us some chips and a six-pack, have us a regular ball. So we sent Colonel Knox to the Pathmark to pick up the pretzels and brew. But the Pathmark was closed, kind of Christmas. Says George, now what do we do? Charlie Lee says, did you try Philadelphia? Says George, you're out of your head. Nothing happens in Philly the rest of the year, and Christmas is going to be dead. We was all set to give up and watch football when I gets me this brilliant idea. The Hessians is over in Trenton. They're German. They got to have beer. We all looked around at each other, made a mad dash to put on hats, and coats went charging out in the snowdrifts, yelling, "To Trenton, men! Head for the boats!" And the vision of imported brewski brought a smile to old George's face as he led us to Washington's Crossing, which seemed an appropriate place. Well, he shoved off in these leaky old rowboats he rented for $2 cash. George was half in the bag when he started. He was a general. He had his own stash. He stood up like some freaking statue with his tricorn hat and blue coat shouting, "Onward to Trenton and victory!" A lot of people in this boat. Well, it must have been 0 dark 30 by the time we all got across. So George leased us eastbound to Trenton, which was south of us. So we got lost. So he stops this all-night Sunoco. "Hey, which way to Trenton? How far?" "Oh, you hang out right at the 7-Eleven air traffic lights. There you are." It was dawn when we got to the city. Rang the doorbell outside the wall, and whose face should appear at the peephole? The boss German himself, Colonel Rawl. "Who's there this hour of the morning? What are you guys doing here?" "We heard you was having a party, and we thought we could borrow some beer." Rawl was not in the mood to be generous. He had a head just like a balloon. They'd been all getting pie-eyed on Pilsner since 4 o'clock last afternoon. So he told us some bad things in German and slammed the door in our face where we stood. So we let's go with our cannon and figured it'd do his hangover some good. Well, Rawl gets together his troopers, at least them he can get out of bed, with one hand waving his saber and the other hand holding his head. And as for us, we'd been marching since nightfall till we was all weak in the knees, and we hadn't seen booze since Thanksgiving, and half of us had the DTs. So, what a terrible battle. You know, what a pitiful sight. The Germans so tight they couldn't shoot straight, us so straight we couldn't shoot right. So we filled all the fence posts with bullets, and we filled all the morning with smoke, fired off cannon and musket till every last window in Trenton was broke. When suddenly, down from the courthouse, guys, let's go, this big cheer. With heroic effort and battle, they'd seized the entire reserves of their beer. And that put an end to the Hessians, and back to New York they went creeping, because once you run out of brewski, there ain't nothing in Trenton worth keeping. And that was the very beginning when the Germans all cried, "Das ist alles," of the British reversal that ended in Yorktown with General Cornwallis. And we threw us a bender that lasted well into sometime next year, floating up to our eyeballs in gallons of good German beer. And that's how it happened. Well, thank you so much. My name's Mike Agranoff. I have some CDs out there. If you would like to see me perform sometime, I also have a mailing list out there, which I would be more than happy if you would sign, and I will send you emails letting you know where I'm playing. But in order so I can code my mailings geographically and not send you notices of my, gigs in South Florida and Bolivia and wherever, I put down your postal address as well as your email. I'll finish this off. With one of the all-time great anthems in the folk repertoire. My all-time favorite folk singer ever, Stan Rogers. Who needs an electronic tuner? Mary Ellen Carter, sing it if you know it, and learn it if you don't. Come on, let's get that right. 2, 3, 4, 5. She went down last October in pouring, driving rain. The skipper, he'd been drinking and the maid felt no pain. Too close to 3 Mile Rock and she was dealt her mortal blow. And the Mary Ellen Carter settled low. There were just us 5 aboard her when she finally was awash. We'd worked like hell to save her, all heedless of the cost. And the groan she gave as she went down, it caused us to proclaim that the Mary Ellen Carter would rise again. Well, the owners wrote her off, not a nickel would they spend. She gave 20 years of service, boys, and then met her sorry end. But insurance paid the loss to us, so let her rest below. And they laughed at us, said we'd have to go. But we talked of her all winter, some days around the clock. She's worth $250,000 floating at the dock. And with every jar that hit the bar, we swore we would remain. Make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again, rise again, rise again. Let her name not be lost to the knowledge of men. All those who loved her best and were with her till the end would make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Well, all spring now we've been with her on a barge lent by a friend. 3 dives a day in a hard-hat suit and twice I've had the bends. Thank God it's only 60 feet and the currents here are slow, or I'd never have the strength to go below. But we patched her rents, stopped her vents, dogged hatch and porthole down, put cables to her fore and aft and girded her around. And tomorrow noon we hit the air and then take up the strain. Watch the Mary Ellen Carter rise again, rise again, rise again. Let her name not be lost to the knowledge of men. All those who loved her best and were with her till the end would make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. For we couldn't leave her there, you see, to crumble into scale. She'd saved our lives so many times, a-living through the gale. They're laughing drunken rats that left her to her sorry grave. Oh, they won't be laughing in another day. And you, to whom adversity has dealt the final blow, with smiling bastards lying to you everywhere you go, oh, turn to and put out all your strength of arm and heart and brain, like the Mary Ellen Carter. Rise again, rise again, rise again. Oh, your heart it be broken, your life about to end. No matter what you've lost, be it a home, a love, a friend, like the Mary Ellen Carter. Rise again, rise again, rise again. Though your heart it be broken, her life about to end. No matter what you've lost, be it home, a love, a friend, like the Mary Ellen Carter. Rise again. Thank you so much. Come see me in the back for CDs and mailing list.
Mike Agranoff.